But I'd feel disgusting if I was a liberal appearing on this podcast too.
Oh my god. Yeah, that is pretty criminal of me.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm an invader.
Yeah, you're good. You're just like all those Muslims hopping the border. Is what you probably think, you right winger.
No, I'm an open borders liberal. I'm a Sun Yat-sen liberal, except without the nationalism.
You're a Sun Yat-sen liberal, except not Hitler, guys. I'm not Hitler.
I'm not Hitler.
You're just like Sun Yat-sen, but not just nothing in common with him at all. Nothing.
I like the land value tax. He was a Georgist. I appreciate that.
Oh,
I get along with.
Have you read?
I get along with Mao Zedong, and I get along with Taiwan.
Yeah.
So I've got cross appeal.
Yeah.
I'm a big tent person.
Yeah. When you see the Confederate War, you're like, what if we only had 3/5 of the slaves?
No. I only ally to people to the left of me.
It's not
to the right of me, and I'm foaming.
Well, except Hitler is to the left of you.
Oh yeah, he is.
Dude, I love Georgism. If you ever read any the big Georgist book, I forget the name of it. I read it like a couple years ago.
I honestly haven't engaged with it that much. I'm more just intrigued. I'm not like
Monopoly head.
I'm not like, I don't know. I like the idea of the state taking control of things when it's smart, and not taking control of things when it isn't smart. And
I can make that joke.
But yeah, that's basically it. Like, I don't know. I hate landlords.
Well, anyway, speaking of capitalism, welcome back, my little premium cummerlings, to Composting Ultra Deluxe, the Patreon-only show. And if you're listening to only the first 15 minutes of it, it's because you're poor, and you didn't pay for the whole thing.
Oh, God.
Unless you're Rowan, in which case you're getting this sent to you for free.
Awesome! That's great.
Well, I'm not gonna make you pay to listen to your own... Well, I guess I did make my editor pay to listen to their own episode.
Well, they're the editor.
They're the editor. They have to pay for the privilege of working for me, a small business owner. Do you know how hard it is being a small business owner?
You're so good.
You understand as a Sun Yat-sen liberal.
Mm-hmm. It's the only real working class. Get to own your own means of production.
Welcome back to Composting Ultra Deluxe, the most liberal podcast. I'm joined today by my susceptible co-host, Joku.
We are joined by the cleanest Twitter user because they just took their first shower ever.
It's been one day. I just woke up and came here immediately, and
it's been
so
12
I didn't get a shower.
days.
It's been.
This is your first time
maybe
ever?
18 hours.
You didn't use soap?
20 years?
The bite of 87?
Oh my god!
Bite of 87!
Stinky.
But we are joined by Twitter user and my little buddy, Rowanfornow.
I'm happy to be here.
Play a Halo sound effect with a clapping sound effect. Just saying that.
Play a gong after every time they say Sun Liberal.
I'm not gonna say it anymore. I didn't even realize we had started already. Now I'm really embarrassed.
Play a gong every time they say liberal.
No, I'm not doing that.
I'm not. We don't.
Liberalism gone.
Liberal. There's a reason they call me the drink. They used to call me the juice box. Now they call me the drink. My father's the cup. They call me that because I'm always big sipping. I'm either sipping lean or tripping off the Henny, if you know what I mean. And I've been drinking that gender fluid lately. Experimenting with he, they pronouns. Paint my nails black, I'll tell you. Nails aren't the only thing about me that are black, folks. Not the only thing.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Fun fact, this is the first time I have put my voice on the internet.
Wow.
outside of one time when I said the word pigeon, and looked
And it's
into that.
behind a paywall.
Well,
Oh gosh.
the first 15
Hopefully
minutes.
this gets you
First
big
15
money.
minutes are free. Yeah.
Oh yeah, my bad.
Dude, I was like, okay, you know what made me decide this should be a Patreon episode? When you tweeted out criticizing, because like, you're a leftist. I joke about you being a liberal, but you're
I'm like a leftist liberal in the middle.
Yeah,
I'm getting more. I'm getting more disillusioned with the liberal
I've been
side.
radicalizing you in your DMs, like,
Yeah,
hey,
of course.
isn't the DNC pretty bad, huh? The DNC pretty.
Oh yeah.
Um, But Kamala or DNC decide, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do the one thing I should not say. I'm gonna do the one thing I should not do, and say we need the most lethal military in the world so Israel can maintain its right to defend itself.
So many people online at this point have fully like embraced this sort of hawkism
Yeah,
that I think
call it
goes
hawk
beyond.
tourism.
Of course, in the modern era, but I think it just my issue because I think they have something of an argument because I wouldn't ever suggest a pacifist angle in like World War II, for example. I think it's good that we helped stop the Nazis.
Yeah.
Hot take. But I think there's a fetishization of militarism and of mass death that comes with words like lethal. It's like a dick waving, disgusting kind of thing. Like you see these people posting like those like Sigma edits, but for like NATO, and it's like, are you kidding me?
No, it's just it's blue MAGA. It's just MAGA fascism, except from a neoliberal lens, which is just
honestly,
so much.
I think there's a contrarian angle too, because I think that a lot of these people used to be leftists and used to hang out with leftists, and then those people were only such. They like to criticize these people because they are these people who were only leftists at the time because their parents were liberals.
Yeah.
And they hated their parents. And then they turned 20 and they were like, it's time to grow up. I'm going to be even more annoying than my parents, and then I'll be normal. And it's still annoying. You're just like a double contrarian. It doesn't make you smarter.
At least fascists claim to be like preserving the brave tradition of Rome and Atlantis and the Nordic giants. But what are these motherfuckers preserving? McDonald's? Like, what? Like,
I don't know.
It's so lame. It's just
serving $5 Taco Bell.
Aesthetic politics, except the aesthetics are just like fucking retired Nazi generals.
Speaking of fetishization of mass death, the topic of the episode.
Wow, Dr. Strangelove, or learned how to love the bomb, which is about it's Stanley Kubrick film, my favorite director.
He's a good one.
It's about American jingoism during the Cold War and Soviet militarism during the Cold War and the sort of Ouroboros that resulted of the constant elevation and one-upping that happened in the Cold War arms race. To give a synopsis, this movie is about General Ass Ripper. He calls in a emergency order for all planes in neutral airspace outside of the Soviet Union to begin entering the country to drop their hydrogen payloads. With no right to do this, for the reasoning of communists putting fluoride in his water to poison his cum. That's why he does it. And the movie, because he's Chad. And the movie is about the president of the United States, an RAF commander, the General Secretary of the Soviet Union, and the Soviet ambassador to the United States trying to resolve this situation well, wacky shenanigans ensue. And it turns out that the Soviets built a doomsday device that when bombs are dropped on the Soviet Union, should they be, the entire world will end. And that was explained by one Dr. Strangelove, a Nazi scientist brought to the United States to win the war against the Russians. Great romp of a movie, very funny movie.
When did this movie come out?
64.
1964.
Very prescient.
Yeah.
It's kind of bold to be releasing a movie like that in 1964.
Oh yeah, because you're actively rooting for these Americans flying the plane. You're like, I hope they're shot down and killed.
Yeah.
And I mean, only a guy like Kubrick could. Well, I mean, anyone could get me to think that, but only a guy like Kubrick could make a normal Sun Yat-sen liberal think that.
Hey, so my angle to contextualize, I'm a feminist IR kind of person, and as part of that, I'm very extremely critical of this whole nuclear bullshit. I understand mutually assured destruction, but I don't think that's the point most people pull. I think the point most people pull, at least the people in power, is showing off how big their dick is in the form of a missile.
Yeah.
And I think this movie kind of represents that to an extent. I don't remember the names of any characters in this movie, but both the General Ripper and the guy in the war room.
Which one? There were a lot of them.
The excited yelly guy.
The Hawk. The guy who represented Dulles.
Yeah. But him especially, very much like a fetishization, literally, of nuclear annihilation and of power.
Constant comparisons to constant talk about one's genitalia, one's manhood.
Yeah, and his constant comparison with the Soviet Union is very much, it's dick measuring.
Yeah.
It's a constant fear that their body count's going to be higher.
Yeah,
on the civilian level, sexually, on the militaristic level, death-wise.
Yeah.
It's very much a machismo thing. It's very much a product of our institutions for thousands and thousands and thousands of years being dominated by men. Is how I feel about it.
Yeah, I would agree. I think that hegemonic masculinity fulfills a religious idea of the unwashed masses being piggish, unable to care for themselves, and needing a strong paternal leader. That took the form of God as God through the king through much of human history. I think that within the time of this movie, that took the form of worshipping ideology as one's god, ideology as a religion, through the leader of one's country or the leader of one's political bloc. I think even now that's the case. Even if I support, this might get me in hot water, but I support the nuclearization of pretty much every country. I don't think that if nukes are on the table, I think that it's good for countries to have them to just prevent war as a preventative measure.
Yeah.
However, countries such as North Korea, which I understand why they have a nuclear program, it's a constant machismo in their propaganda depicted along phallic missiles. It's a bit on the nose. Same thing with the Soviet Union. Same thing with the United States. Same thing.
I mean,
with the
if we
Russian
really want an example of machismo more than anything, it's going to be Donald Trump and
Yeah, Donald Trump
Kim Jong Un.
and
Like I have the biggest button. Like, are you serious?
Hey there! Do you want the rest of this composting episode? Well, have I got news for you? You can go on patreon.com/compostingpodcast. And I don't know what I'm doing this with. Rest of the episodes up on our Patreon. Check it out. You get VODs, a Discord, monthly bonus episodes a week early. It's really cool. Discord, I don't know if I mentioned that. It's cool. The episode's great. Rowan's a lovely person. It was a pleasure having her on. And yeah, check it out. Check it out. And give us money. Give me money. Is basically what I'm asking. Thanks for supporting us. Bye bye.